Yeah, that's weird.
You know, I think Beyond Gaming are the 99%. So,
I mean, it is beyond logic, that's for sure. We'll see who takes this one. Beyond Gaming have given themselves something to work with, but the triple dive is always a risky strategy, and the priority targets are very slippery. You know, one can hop, one can rush, and, well, the Gragas can dash. I feel like everyone's got a gap close or some sort of defensive tool. Big thing. This game will probably turn on when you have the dive coming in. Renata Glass and that ultimate, that hostile takeover, very pivotal. And Enzo knows his way around this champion. I've said it a few times in the last couple weeks, but Enzo was a role-swapped jungler just a year ago. And now he's one of the best Enchantress supports we have. I got to hand it to him. What an absolute step up that this guy has had.
A huge part of the stats that we just saw from Little V comes from the fact that Enzo actually can play Renata to a very high level. We've seen it so many games, they just walk past the minion wave of level 1 and force summoners. That's actually just how they start, and they can chain that into a level 3 gank coming in from Kongyue. We've seen Kongyue pull that off quite a few times as well. So they have a very bottom focus early game, and that's where I think most of the attention has to go to.
I agree. Well, thank you for bearing with us as we sorted things out. But we are finally on to Summoner's Rift here for the 4th time tonight. Closing out the round robin in week number 3 of the PCS Summer Split. Now, it was kind of interesting since we're about a week behind on the patch. Like, this was our first week on 12.12. We got to see the rest of the world and what they made of it. And you could tell the PCS teams were chomping at the bit. They were already playing the Amumu before the buffs came in. You know, they were hovering Bel'Veth even though it wasn't enabled. And then only Hana plays it. But, like, it's almost a bit of an advantage. You get to see everybody else before, you know, and playing it scrims as well before you get a chance to take it. So I kind of like this for our region. For J-Team, for Beyond Gaming, 2 of our stronger teams here. But definitely some questions remain to be answered for Beyond, as they have, as you mentioned, lost to some of our weaker teams while beating some of our stronger. I still don't like this Lissandra pick, though. I feel like it's bait. It's a trap.
Yeah, Minji has not had the best record on this champion, for sure. But I will say something that this is a game where I think J-Team still needs to be very mindful of their tempo in the game, because if it goes to late game, you're facing that Aphelios hyper carry, and you're also facing down Shyvana that nobody can kill on your team. It's incredibly tanky. Here comes the level 1 by J-Team. This is just standard fare for them, getting a huge chunk of HP down.
We've seen it before, right? Yeah, and J-Team's bottom lane, you know, like kind of became known as like a little bit more like live and let live for a bit. Like they were very consistent, but not the biggest damage dealers early. But this Kalista Renata is very different fare, and now that they've gotten so much more used to this, we've seen them just taking it 2v2 to everybody. Lil V and Enzo are just such a power duo, and it's great to see them shine together because they do seem to be on the same page. And you can't say the same for Lil V's other bot lane colleagues, if you will, in the past. So this J-Team iteration looking great as they find the spear once again into Kino. A little bit of extra damage from.
But we do have to be very careful. Husha is going for a potential level 3 gank pathing down here. Let's see if he decides to go for that one. Oh, we have Kongyue sniffing this out already.
Husha knows though, and if he stops him, oh, this could set the Wukong quite behind, actually, as they're in for a blue buff tussle. Here he goes, the smite's down. That's actually secured by Husha, but Kongyue finds damage, and they're bringing Enzo up as well. That's going to be the end of it. So it ends up just being some time bots, and Husha doesn't lose out any jungle EXP for it, and has the buff advantage.
Yeah, I think the most important thing about that play was definitely Kongyue just making sure that the Wukong level 3 gank wasn't there. They move up with Renata, drop the wards down, and it pretty much just means that J-Team get to bully this lane to their heart's content. No one is going to be here to impact this. Meanwhile, in the top lane, as expected, Shyvana doesn't have a particularly strong early level, so she gets poked out quite easily. Does very little damage early on, and you do see Rock coming out with a very decent lead in terms of the potions and in the CS as well.
Yeah, it's a fun way to play Gragas, too. You know, for a while back when he was meta previously, it was all about that tank build, and now he gets himself a very solid AP. First Strike comes in. He deals a lot of damage. It's a threat you have to keep in mind. The burst from the barrel it can do a lot more than just knock people to one side. It can actually find some serious DPS, as it were. Young getting the casket chucked out at him as well. I do love that Gragas skin, the Esquire. He's very fancy, a fancy lad up in the top side.
Yeah, this is actually one of Rock's better champions as well. He loves to play these hard engaged top laners. He was known to be a Malphite player, and Gragas definitely in his wheelhouse as well. JT looking to inch a little bit forward. Level 3 definitely one of the strong spikes for Kalista. But,
ooh, wow, they actually split the handshake.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice, actually. I think Wako and Kino are playing really good against this 2v2.
I will say for Beyond Gaming, their easiest target to focus would be the Renata. Very low escape potential, doesn't have any gap closers, so we could see Beyond Gaming try to play a bot lane focus game as well. And you can just bop the Renata up with the Abyssal Dive, that would be your opening.
It's true. I mean, and one thing Minji can do on this Lissandra is still roam, right? Obviously can be matched by Uniboy, so we'll have to keep in mind that that is a little bit of potential target lockdown if it comes to it. Fusha comes back to the bottom side. He was delayed last time, chased away from the gank, but now he's back with a vengeance, and they're going to try to keep the vision game covered. But I think this is telegraphed by Kino roaming up a little bit. And Enzo and Lilvi do have a ward in the brush. In fact, yeah, with Kino guarding this has got to be obvious.
Yep, full control of the bot lane and the river. I think they're actually completely fine, even just considering this Drake. Once they figure out Wako's backed, they could go for this one. Looks like Kongre is contemplating about starting this one. And indeed, they will just get it. Uniboy already level 6 here. And Rock is heading towards the bottom side. So that might be the X factor here. It's both top laners coming from the
this
10.
might get spicy. Fusha waiting. He doesn't have Cyclone.
Ooh.
Kongre only level 4, though. Boy whiffs on the smite against Minji, and wow, the dragon actually doesn't fully reset. Kongre's low. This is still very spicy, though. The flash into the ultimate, and Kongre gets a bailout. Will they be able to turn the fight on this one? All of a sudden, things have opened up. The first blood for Lil V comes through. Exhaust was on Uniboy. Now Minji goes down as well. J-Team finds 2 quick picks. The dragon still aggro. Lil V sitting in the pit right now, tanking the dragon. It doesn't matter because they've got the fight on it. There's the Abyssal Dive, looking for the interrupt, and Kino's got so many Ren stacks sticking out of him. It was easy peasy for Uniboy to get himself a triple kill. It's all coming up, J-Team.
And that was a massive win for J-Team coming in. There are a couple of big things that happened. Beyond Gaming tried to use all their bursts to take down Kongre, but it didn't work. Kongre is able to just get up with the bailout and continue to deal damage. In fact, it was J-Team that got multiple members down first. So we'll watch this again as Kongre survives, manages to go back into the fight, actually kills Fusha first, the jungle down, and then as we see this fight develop, Rock with the extra kills gets the level 6 over Liang. Liang has no way into this team fight, and J-Team with the low health Kongre are able to bait a fight when they are at their strongest.
Yeah, you were talking about Wako being bait, but how about Kongre? Not only does he get himself a bailout, he gets himself a reset, and oh boy, J-Team gets such a massive edge there. Not only the dragon, but 4 kills, 3 of them in Uniboy's pockets, and all of a sudden, look at that, that's a 7.5-minute Everfrost. Holy cow!
Oh boy, I don't think I've seen one this early. This is definitely going to be a headache right here. I feel like Beyond Gaming, to be honest, they didn't really need to contest that Drake at all. I think they just got sort of tempted by Kongre being low HP. Minji wanted to make the play, but they just forgot about Enzo. Enzo just being there in the nick of time changed all of that.
Okay, Minji taking a little damage. Ooh, the flash into the point-blank charm. Kongre tabs his way through, but here comes Fusha for the relief effort right now. That's Kongre going back on the Heartbreak, and nice lifesaver there as Fusha keeps Minji alive. I don't think that would have ended well for him otherwise.
Yep, we do get extra flash burned on one side, and now Liang going in. Rock, I love this chain of abilities. You are unstoppable during the dragon's descent, so Rock waits for Liang to land before just popping the ultimate and sending him on it.
Yeah, with the Ruined Dragon as well. I like the Skinergy playing into Kongre. Rock doing really well on this Gragas, finding a way to dissuade the damage. Kongre starting off this Rift Herald going to be happening in full vision, but Beyond Gaming losing map control, can't really do much about it. It's a 2,000 gold advantage and liable to grow here. And this is what we were talking about. J-Team getting everything they want. The coordination is there, and Enzo's ultimate in that last fight, Enzo's bailout in that last fight coming in huge to turn it around.
I just feel like J-Team managed
just one
to
of our
get
best
away with-
Renatas.
Yeah, Enzo did a great job there. And overall, J-Team's 4 picks in the bottom side of the map, all of them are S tier. They're just like the best picks currently in the meta right now. I think this is just kind of meta drafting 101. You get raw power on all sides, and you just fight when in the early game when you're strong. So massive snowball here by Uniboy.
Yeah.
I think all eyes have to be on him at this point. He's got that teleport up, so he could he could roam very proactively and then still come back to his own.
Yeah, Minji's going to be able to at least clear some waves, but, like, this Lissandra's kind of a neutralizing pick, and it's not been able to because Uniboy found that fight. So the big golden fusion happens. It's going to be on Beyond to try and stop the bleeding as we tick 10 minutes into the game. Still a 2,000 gold edge, and Uniboy, I think he's just waiting to see if he can bait a kill. I mean, he almost had that on Minji, if not for the timely arrival of Husha into the lane. Wako Kino finding an opening to try and push a little bit of plate damage in these towers, but they're just going to let the minions crash in. That's about it for now.
And Beyond Gaming are relegated to just waiting here. I'm trying to think about when they can actually turn things around. For now, I think it still has to come down to Liang being able to survive a full rotation coming in from Ari. I think that has to be the most important thing in the fight right now.
Charm lands.
Uniboy just getting some damage.
The orb. They're going to go for plate damage on this one. Kongi does actually tank a tower shot. Doesn't matter too much. Husha threatens to try and stop this. So they'll just get the charge, just get the couple plates off of it. That's about all they can do. But, hey, the Herald was free. Might as well get something out of it.
And we do have the Hextech Drake next here. Ooh, I'm going for a full-on engage.
Level down. Does have the damage. I mean, Rock is sees the dragon coming at him. Starts walking about as fast as he can. And Rock has just been able to hold pretty well. I feel like this is definitely looking good at the moment. Dragon does come up in 15. This is the Hextech, as you mentioned. And J-Team are the ones that have the opener. Last time, it really bit Beyond in the behind when they tried to tangle for it. And don't know if they'll go again. Probably not.
I don't think they can actually take this one. Ninja's way too far away from the fight. And Liang pretty much telegraphed that there would be no contest because he just popped his ultimate right away. So definitely showcasing top lane not going. I think Liang right now is correctly playing for his own late game. That's probably the best win condition that Beyond Gaming does have right now. Shyvana is very hard to take down late. Incredibly tanky champion. However, this time she is lacking a lot of dragon stacks. Like, if you don't get breaks in the game, Shyvana actually becomes not very tanky. It's 10 armor and magic resistance you get for each Drake in dragon form, and just missing out on that extra resistance does hurt your late game quite a bit.
I think Beyond are definitely going to try to contest, or need to try to contest going forward. It's our Infernals, too. This is the first Infernal Rift I think we've had today, and teamfight stats going to come in pretty handy, but an early stack by J-Team. Lil V able to secure up his Immortal Shield Bow now. It's his Mythic over Wako. Remember, Beyond are going to be playing for a little bit on the late side, as you mentioned, not just the Shyvana, but Wako on the Aphelios. And J-Team, they know they have a great opener. They had such a good fight that accelerates their game plan so well here, and they just had to cede so much control on the Beyond side. Seems like the next Dragon's going to be very pivotal.
Yeah, and I think the only way Beyond Gaming can play this is with a preemptive gank into the bot lane. Remember, Renata is still a very killable champion. You can engage with Tahm Kench and just pop out of the brush with Husha. So I do expect that to be the location where Beyond Gaming focus. It most likely has to be a lane gank because they're just losing so much of their own jungle control. It's very easy to just waltz in with the Infernal Drink, shaping the terrain right here. And you can see J-Team definitely know the win conditions by Beyond Gaming. I wouldn't be surprised if they just drop a ward into the lane itself just to seal off all potential tracks from Husha.
Yeah, I like it. Just keep the Wukong under lock. I mean, there's a reason this champion has fallen off a little bit now since patch 12.12's come in. We've been seeing a lot of other stuff. The Poppy starts to come up, but Wukong's still a very, very good champion if he gets the angle of engage, but if he's spotted coming, you can deny so much of what he wants to do. Will be taking himself another plate here. It's really hard for Wako to stop this. Solo Kino is trying to cover Tribrush, and J-Team continue to muscle in on this jungle. Maybe gonna look to take away Husha's blue for real this time. Maybe give it over to Uniboy if they can. Yeah, easy.
Just gonna smite it here. It was Komir that just took the blue away. This is a really smart play from J-Team. You know, they know that the mid laner can always rotate here first. They're keeping tabs on the Wukong. No surprises by Beyond Gaming. And I think they can just sort of hold this formation until the next break comes up. We're gonna get an Infernal. So, once again, it does come down to Husha, where he can attack. There could be another angle to just go for Uniboy. He doesn't have a flash, although he does still have the cleanse right there.
Hey, Uniboy, after the big triple kill pickup, he's had a little bit more of a quiet performance, just matching lane pressure up against the side of Beyond Gaming. Game has definitely slowed down, and this is just how J-Team like it seems. 3,000 gold to lead.
I mean, they're far ahead enough that they don't need to be further ahead. They can just play for the Drake stacking, get the Infernal Soul very early on, and be happy with that. So there's not a lot of reason for J-Team to try and look at risky plays. In fact, I think looking to extend your lead right now would actually be more detrimental to give your opponent the chance to actually come back into the game. So they're just going to play for objective stacking. You can tell Beyond Gaming are nowhere close. Great timers being used right here. J-Team are going to get another Herald Fork down into the mid lane. Most likely take down the mid lane tower from here.
Yeah, they're just dropping it for plays, just trying to chip away a little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage there, and it's not much Beyond can do as they just don't get an opening. Pretty blind on the map. I guess they see the Viego now, and maybe this is the drop in the mid. I don't think they need it, though. That's actually a back from Minji. This might just be first brick for J-Team off the back of that. But Kino is coming to the rescue, and Hush is not far behind. Probably not just yet. There we go.
A lot of free damage.
Charm does land on the clone. Yeah, this is
Kino here.
Beyond seeding ground.
Well, looks like they may actually
the fastest
just lose
taker
both
Callisto,
towers.
but I think you're right. It's a slow burn, but they're getting it. Lil V just keeps on throwing out the spears, and that will be just first brick taken.
Oh boy, this is
Slow
such
extend.
a hard
We got a nice chill League of Legends game.
It's not chill if you're Beyond Gaming, not at all.
No. The Beyond Gaming aren't happy about this. They're getting just absolutely choked out. But it's a sleeper hold, you know. J-Team
is here first.
J-Team are like, no, go to sleep. Dragon's up, 5 seconds. They have to fight for it. Herald is dropped.
Not in position at all.
They're gonna try to focus the split attention. This'll dive. I mean, this should still go through. I don't think they can stop the charge.
Pay close attention.
This is just so methodical.
And Hush has to come across the wall.
It's going already. They can't do it. They're zoned out. J-Team go up to Soul Point. They get everything they want.
Yep, 2 towers. The Drake goes down easily, and that was really well played by J-Team. They push in mid first. They kind of feign going back into the bottom, and then they walk back and push mid again, which causes Wako and Kino to actually have to walk back and respond. So even though Beyond Gaming's divers were in place, the Tom Kench and the Aphelios were so far away from the scene, there was really nothing they could do. So J-Team get to walk away with another one, and that's a 21-minute Infernal Soul. Oh boy, that's a little bit too early.
Yeah, they like Beyond are trying to play for a late game. They just haven't found an opening. They've just found nothing on this map. They can't contest what J-Team are doing, and I feel like so much of this comes down to Draft Clement. They gave away a lot, and they're getting punished.
Yeah, I feel like not banning the Ahri was just inexcusable in that situation. They just give over way too much power to the early game. Sure, the Lissandra was there, and technically it's a counter to the Ahri, but it's a counter in the sense that you can nullify what Ahri does. And sometimes if that doesn't work out, she can still pop off. That's exactly what happened. Uniboy, you have to take into the IDs as well. And yeah, I think they just allowed too many strong picks here, but Beyond Gaming going in.
Oh no, Minji, he does actually buy himself a little bit of time, but through the hostile takeover, I don't know if it's going to make a big difference here. Stacks go in there. Minji, the flashes forward. They do actually try to turn the fight here. Leon looking for even more, and maybe this is the chance. Shyvana on top of Lil V, but Husha already melting down through this one. The bailout, Lil V gets the reset. Beyond just can't quite close it out. And that's
Great.
2 kills taken for none. J-Team.
Insane play by Enzo again. He manages to stop the Cyclone midway from Husha and also catch out Minji as he's coming out. So a lot of the follow-up damage not there for Beyond Gaming. They once again come out with a massive lead. And I'll be honest, that fight, J-Team didn't even play that completely perfectly. We saw Rock go in and miss absolutely everything, and they were still able to win. The most important part definitely coming in from Enzo here. Lands the handshake, stops the Cyclone before the Fate's call comes in. Great timing here. Don't look at Rock. That was not intended, but they still win anyway.
Man, Leong had a great Dragon's Descent, but there just wasn't nearly enough follow-up in here. I mean, the one saving grace is Waco's untouched, but, like, doesn't matter. They lose 2 anyways. They can't quite get the kills. Enzo again with the clutch bailout. Man, I mean, J-Team, yeah, it wasn't the cleanest from what we've expected, but they're so far ahead, they're just kind of hitting them with the wallet dip at this point. And it's 2 minutes and counting for that Infernal Soul, Clement. I feel like the timer is ticking away for Beyond Gaming.
It definitely is. I just don't see how they can possibly hold on to 3 items. If you look at Waco right now, he's stuck on 2 and barely a half. So J-Team have so many ways to finish.
Well, I mean, do the
one
boots
off.
even count?
I wouldn't really say so.
This is Gale Force in a bargain bin.
Yeah, and you
Waco
also
needs
have
time to scale
with a really fast Baron take as well. So J-Team can play both sides of the map.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage, and J-Team can just try to set up as much as they want right now. They don't need to start the Baron, but they certainly seem to have the option. Beyond Gaming going to try to wrest control of their own jungle back, but they are flying blind. If you look at their vision right now, they've got almost none. Handshake lands on Leong, just on the edge to look for Husha. Goes into the clone, gets away. Waco holding the minion wave, and it's just J-Team keeping Beyond in the dark. And they have options. Dragon in a minute.
It's also just so hard to get any kills as Beyond Gaming. If you go for Renata, there's Fate's Call, and if you look at the item builds on the carries here, there's stopwatches in all 3 lanes. Gragas has a stopwatch, Kalista has a stopwatch, Ari has a stopwatch.
Ari has a
no
stopwatch.
one you can actually burst down.
Yeah. This is going to be so frustrating, and I think after this game, Beyond have to look at what they're doing in the drafts, because they're making life harder for themselves unnecessarily. They've still found wins against big teams, but after this one, you know, if they lost to CFO, if they lose to J-Team, like, you gotta reconsider what you're doing in the pick ban.
Exactly. It seems like Beyond Gaming, they are the PSG Kryptonite, but the J-Team universe a little bit too much to handle. And they're late to the party here. I don't see how they get in across Rock here. It's so difficult with the Everfrost and the barrels.
Okay, Husha. Glass goes to the wall. This is in full vision. Rock, though, just denying him. There's a 2-level difference, and he has to bring the Cyclone on a single target. The Kalista gets the Ren down. Minji's going nowhere just yet, but soon to follow gets swallowed up by Kino, and here comes Awesome Takeover, gets whipped on the side. Doesn't matter. They just have such a stronger fight. Leong trying to keep it going for Beyond Gaming, but they just don't have enough. And that is going to be the wipe, and it's J-Team for a clean ace.
A perfect ace by that one as well. They get the Infernal Soul in the middle of the fight. They deny any chance for Husha to come in. He was trying so hard to get past Gragas, but Rock is just doing his job as a bouncer right there. He's got the Everfrost, he's got the knockback, the stun, everything there is just impossible. You know, maybe Baron can fare a little bit better than Beyond Gaming in this fight. Let's see if Baron can get something done here. Oh, he almost gets Rock.
It's doing more damage than they are.
My goodness.
Yeah, you know, I think Beyond really just found out how deep between a rock and a hard place can be, because Husha had no chance to have an impact in this one, and the Ren stacks come through. Leong is trying to flank, but they just don't have damage. This is all wallet dip.
Yeah, you can tell Leong, like, Little B is perfectly happy to just go up into melee range against him, and the reset comp is just so strong in the top side. There's a reason we don't see anyone give over this type of composition to the enemy team. You've got Bailout reset, you've got Ari reset, you've got
it's free real estate at the end of the day, right? Like, okay, Kino's got to knock up on Rock. They're going to try to get the 2v2, but look at the damage. The big barrel comes out. That's a little bit of denial. They find the charm onto Husha, not onto his clone, mind you. They do take that one down as he tries to spin away, and there's the Dragon's Example again. The damage is just way too real as Boy comes up huge. Wako Kino evaporating. It's just a matter of time. We get another wipe in as many minutes. Oh, that might not be the end of it just yet, but they will push it in.
Oof. This is probably one of those few games that I would sanction a surrender from a team. It's just no way to come back in this one.
It's not a perfect game, Clement, but it's so close. One kill for Beyond. Report Enzo.
Yeah.
He's griefing.
Definitely rough to watch in this one.
What an absolute stomp.
Completely agree with you, and I think we have to go back to the ban pick in this one a lot. I was very surprised that Beyond Gaming actually gave over Ballista. We'll have plenty of time to talk about this one, so I think Beyond Gaming doing the right thing here, trying to do a catch. They just can't find a good target to focus down. You know, ideally, Kongre was the best shot that they had. I think Minji did a great job going all the back control there, but Kongre is still able to get out with the flash and come back and heal up more. Even with the nerf on 12.12, he's getting plenty of HP back. Just look at this, he finishes off the team fight with 70% HP, so too far gone, too far gone.
Yeah, no, it's just huge at this point, and they've done so much. You see the goal difference over time. We don't normally get into like, oh, looking at the 20K like top bar, but no, we have to add that one here, and it's just going to keep growing. 26 minutes just about on the game clock, and I think that might be all we get here. But J-Team, they play it out as safe as they can. They don't push their edge really, and they're not the ones that are pulling the trigger on the fight. It's Beyond Gaming that are forcing at such a level disadvantage and just losing out every time.
They absolutely have to, so...
In the brush.
Oh, he catches them, though.
Spotted. He doesn't move. He's like, maybe if I don't move, they won't see me. No, I gotta run.
Beyond Gaming are going to try their luck in the 4v3. They do have a numbers advantage here. Albeit they're going to have to find some very fast kills.
I don't know if it's going to matter. There's the back coming in now in the river as they chased Husha way away, and those towers just drop like they're nothing. Last inhibitor should be an easy peasy one. Here comes the big party barrel, and they manage to turn on the Shyvana. Does get Dragon's Ascent back into the base, and here comes the hostile takeover again. Kongre a little bit low, doesn't matter. Swallowing up Kino, manages to keep Leon alive for a few more seconds, but they just turn their attention to the rest of the team, and that is it. The double kill for Lil V. Off the back of it all, they don't even care at this point. J-Team styling for the win. Onto the fountain dive. Rock gives his life for the cause. And the swagger kill. J-Team with a nearly flawless